מקסימום זה קודם.
Okay, another term which belongs to the whole thing is identification. Now, you can't be personally involved unless first of all you identify with the emotion. You have a certain emotion, you become one with it. You are the emotion. The emotion is you. And then when you identify with it, you take it personal. So, for example, husband and wife sitting together, and the psychologist says something to the husband which is hurting. The wife identifies with the husband and takes personally what the psychologist says to the husband. So I would say that identification, becoming one with one emotion. Because you see, the boss of a factory can't identify with one worker. He can't function. And the thing is that the opposite of identification is mutual observation. We always should not identify with anything, but look at it like it doesn't belong to us. The best example I can give, that the person should go on developing another person, which is him, looking at him behind his shoulder. Part of you are involved. So
The observer.
the observer. So the way to neutralize the identification is to develop a neutral factor and to live more and more in the neutral factor instead of a specific emotion. What I mean is there isn't one permanent I of a person. There is a bunch of emotions, and each time another hooligan takes the seat with which we identify. Instead of it, we shouldn't identify with any emotion. Decrease their noise and develop a conscious observer. And we should transfer our own identity, slowly but surely, from individual emotions into the observer, until your I, your feeling of self, becomes an observing I and not identifying I. The identifying I is infantile, the observing I is mature.
Okay. You know, hearing what you say, I can't have, that's a mistake to say, I can't have the feeling that, or the knowing that people actually don't have much life in that case.
When you identify with one aspect of you so strongly, you block the passage of life. Identification disturbs the passage of life. Identification basically is one thing. Personal involvement, I would say that identification causes a clot. Personal involvement is causing this clot to be malignant.
Okay. Okay.
It's not so easy to recognize it, but I think this is the words. Yeah? When you identify, when you become one with a specific thing, you block the stream of things. And when you are personally involved with something, when you cook a negative emotion, then you turn it into a malignant thing.
A lot of work to do then. For one person to start live.
Yeah, it's like we get our life as a garden full of debris, full of things which are lying there. And before we grow what we want to grow, we need to move away what managed to get in and clogs the garden from being a garden. Our life is a potential, but it's not an actuality, and people mistake actuality for potential. We have a possibility of life. We don't have life. Until we train ourselves, tame our emotions, move away what stops life to happen, until we stop to be personally involved with our own life, we don't have a life. We have the bushes of the emotions covering the whole garden. The garden should be clean so the flower of the soul can grow. The flowers of the inner life. Unfortunately, the whole of society, the whole system is against these kind of things. We build the system to cooperate with people who do not have clean factories, clean gardens, or the stimulation system, or the movies, all the sex, all the television causes a person not to feel his inner life, which is full of identification. But instead of it, we should turn inward and do a cleaning job. When you clean the house, fresh atmosphere can come in. And life actually waits. We're full of life outside our own empire, waiting for it to be clean.
That's a great part.
Right, okay.
That's a great part, Gabriel. זה קטע חזק.